Hello everyone, welcome to Quest Unplayed. Quest Unplayed is where three of us, plus we usually have a guest, but one of us is missing. He's having
Where's
trouble.
Anthony?
I think he's stuck in traffic or something. He said
You know what we should do?
so Anthony might actually join later on. I mean, I told him you can kind of hop in the middle of it because we'll just cover until you come, but like he might not because he says, you know how those crazy commuting can be. So, but anyways, we usually have fun, or we always have fun with the devs or people in the gaming industry. We talk to them and just try to have fun. And I am the co-host of Quest Unplayed, George, and today's Quest is joined by Zach.
Hi, I'm Zach.
And we have another guest today, NerdyPunk.
What's up? Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Awesome. We're glad that you could join us today. But before we actually start, this podcast is sponsored by Minimap, your ultimate gaming hub, and a gaming companion app. You can sync your game accounts, make your game collection, connect with other gamers, enjoy our original content, and basically do anything and everything about games.
Game stuff.
Yeah, join Minimap, everyone. And here is the sponsor video.
Do it. Yeah, let's hear it.
Let's hang out there.
Come on, let's go. I like the song. I like that noise. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't even dance. I'm trying to dance. I can't dance.
Yes. You gotta
Why
stand
was I
up and
born
dance.
with rhythm? You can play this game this weekend. How did you know? Your part coming up. Are you ready? Nerdy P, you ready?
Let's go.
Minimap, your ultimate gaming hub.
That's a cool trailer, dude. Good vibes.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, so the best part of
get over the end of it.
the best part of the video is the voice actor, whoever did that. Round of applause. That's great. I love
I guess
it.
I could manage you. I could start shopping you out.
Yeah, go for it. I mean, I'm available, everyone.
Get him some. Yeah.
I am in Korea, but we have something called the internet, so I can just send out some samples and stuff. But anyways.
Wait a minute. They have internet in Korea?
Oh heck yeah! So how's everyone doing? How are you, NerdyPunk?
I'm good. I'm pumped about the conversation. Let's just start. Let's keep it going.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
a lot of good
awesome.
energy.
I know, I
Yeah.
love it
Yeah.
because I guess I kind of contacted you because I found you on a stream and then I start chatting with you
Yeah.
and stuff, and I didn't know that you were actually a developer as well, and then
He's a
Something.
creeper. George is.
yeah, I just usually just try to see if they have like good gaming content here and there, and
Yeah,
streamers.
let's get that guy on the podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So-
I think it was an enshrouded stream, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You were playing a
That
game.
was one of my breaks. I never played games, and that day I was just playing and I met you. It was
Yeah.
just a coincidence.
Yeah, it was some
Yeah.
kind of destiny.
Yeah.
So how are you, Zach?
Great.
How's the weather in Texas? Awesome.
It's a lot like my soul, hot and dry.
Yeah, it's so
No, it's been raining a lot lately.
that's
Which is
that's
nice.
that's good.
That
Yeah,
makes
I
me
guess.
happy.
Yeah.
The less sun and more rain and wind I get, the happier I am. Do they got rainy, windy places in Korea?
Yeah.
Like it just rains all the time. That's where I want to be.
Not all the times, but
We did.
but-
Yeah.
so
There's
How
a
about
lot
where
of
you're
rain
at?
in many places. I'm in Central America in Honduras, and
Oh.
yeah, we get a lot of rain throughout the year.
oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
I'm going to Honduras then.
Oh,
Yeah,
how's
so, but it's also very hot, like humid hot. So
Oh.
not as much as fun as you would think about. Yeah,
I've never actually been to Honduras before, but I heard great things about it. Like
yeah, it's very nice. Yeah,
I mean, so I heard like the heat problem is crazy. Like especially in like Europe and places like that. People are just
They're not used to it.
they're not used
Yeah.
to it, and also I heard like not many people have ACs in their houses because of the I don't know like
They've
yeah,
never
like
needed
the
it.
legislation in Europe. That's very weird.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm
that,
like,
that
we
you think
even have
about it.
AC in the third world.
Well,
Yeah,
that's the thing. Is
exactly.
like if you didn't have AC in like South America, you know what I mean? Like you'd have to have 40 fans. They've never really
Yeah.
needed it. I don't think.
Mm,
It's
Yeah.
probably like, oh, why is it so hot? I'm like, ha ha ha, you're sweaty.
Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. Because
Meanwhile,
like
in America, I've got 2 of them.
yeah,
Whatever, dude.
because
Yeah.
it's like in Korea too. Like nowadays, like like in like newer apartments and stuff, in every room. So like usually they have like 5 ACs in a house.
And there's no
Really?
regulation against it or anything limitations.
Nope.
Yeah, that's the issue in Europe. They have the regulations
Right,
about
right.
it.
I guess that makes sense because
They're like,
I mean,
no, you don't. You have to be cold or hot. They're like, okay,
yeah,
thanks.
you've never been in that situation, but yeah. So sorry, a little bit off
Not on
topic, but
purpose.
could you tell us a little bit about yourself, NerdyPunk,
Please do.
Yeah.
and your
yeah,
game?
So my real name is not Nerdy. I just go by Nerdy on the internet. This is a bit of my game, Spaceman Memories, and I'm a solo developer working on this game called Spaceman Memories. It's 2.5D. I'm not gonna use HT2D, but that would be the right term. But that one has a trademark, so I cannot use it. But it's a 2.5D JRPG, so it's got like those retro vibes in a 3D world. So yeah, I've been working on this one for a couple of years now. I started it as a 2D game in Unity, then I brought it into Unreal Engine when Unity was being a bit crazy, and it made me feel insecure about the future of the company. And then I just went full 3D, and that's what I've been working on this last year and a half in Unreal Engine. Yeah, this is my game, Spaceman Memories.
Jump. Ah, he got it. Sorry. I was
Awesome.
I was trying to
I
jump.
mean, yeah, I did watch the trailer a couple times, but I mean, it looks really fun. Like, I mean, I haven't.
Yeah.
There's no demo or anything yet, but
No, but it's coming very soon. Yeah.
okay. When are you planning
I
to?
dig the 2D and the 3D aspect. I like that.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
Have you seen a game? There's a game called. You know what? Just I'll get back to you. George, ask him your question.
Yeah, he sometimes does that. He has yeah,
Alzheimer's. It's okay.
not there yet. He doesn't have Alzheimer's. He has Alz.
Are you my
But it's
kid?
getting close.
Yeah, he has Alz.
Are you my kid?
No, apologize for those who are suffering from Alzheimer's, but yeah, that was a joke.
My bad. I really am. This is a new feel better.
Yeah,
Getting
but
canceled. Oh my god.
yeah, that's funny. But anyways, so yeah, I mean, I was really, I mean, my first impression is like, I was really impressed by like how you have managed to do all these different things, like, by yourself. So I mean, that was very, because like I really I give props to all of the solo developers because they have to care about every single detail that goes into the games, and also like even if you think about it, like little words that like or phrases or sentences that are appearing on Steam page that are all done by yourself, every single like from that to programming, art. Sometimes developers, they do outsource the art or music, but like sometimes people just just learn to do it and then kind of integrate it into their game themselves. So that's already why I
I figured
like
out
this
the game I was going to ask you about.
Yeah.
Have you ever
Yeah,
played
which one is it?
Scale Boy Refractured? You ever
No,
played
I
Scale Boy?
haven't. Does it
Oh,
have
man.
that same vibe visually?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out then.
Okay, sounds
Yeah,
good.
It's pretty dope looking. I feel like yours is yours is more of a 2D pixel one, and this is more like Paper Mario. But yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, more like vector.
Oh. It does have that Paper Mario vibe. You get the Spaceman Memories.
Yeah. People have told me that, and it's
Oh.
clearly it's one of the influences, like visually, not in terms of mechanics and gameplay, but visually, it's a mix of everything happening there, like Octopath Traveler, a bit of Paper Mario, yeah, a bit of everything. I tried to put into the whole
that
thing.
stuff's pretty dope though. I like that whole when it's got two different kinds of art styles going on, and
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I was actually looking for I was watching the trailer several times and then I was like, this game reminds me of some other game. Like I can't think of the name, and then like, blah.
could have just asked me, guy. I would have told you.
Sorry, like I was just watching it while I was working out and stuff. But anyways, are you ready to take the gamer type quiz?
Okay, let's see what happens with that one.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. Oh,
Yeah.
I am
like that.
overwhelmed. I don't know what's gonna happen with these questions. Let's see.
Okay. Are you
don't
ready?
be overwhelmed. Just answer it naturally.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Let's
Don't
go.
panic
Let's
at
go.
all. Don't panic at all.
Are you
All right,
ready,
we got
guys?
this. Oh, who are you?
All right, first question. It is finally the weekend after a long, tiring week. Do you ask a friend to play a video game together, or do you need to spend quality time alone?
Yeah, number 2. I need to spend quality time alone.
Okay. What do you like? What kind of game are you playing recently?
I've been playing. Yeah, like the most recent. By the way, I haven't been playing this one by myself. I've been playing Dune Awakening with a friend, but I mostly play games by myself.
Okay. Awesome.
I kind of feel sad about that unless you're
But-
okay with it.
Yeah, I heard
No,
Dune
I am
Awakening.
okay
is-
with it. I am a loner, dude. Even if I had like the money to pay other people, I would still be doing the game by myself. This game that I'm making, I am a loner. I like to be a lone wolf.
But-
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. But then you stream all the time, so I was like,
yeah, but
It makes me even more sad for some odd reason. But as
I
long as you're
like
happy.
I like the social aspect of meeting other people on their own projects. But
Okay.
I think in terms of working, dude, I struggle with teamwork and stuff. I am that type of person.
that's
Not
fair.
gonna lie. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's.
I mean, it's good that you know that about yourself. to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Yeah, that's a good mindset. Awesome. Next question. The new
Let's do
game
it.
that just released isn't my type, but a friend is urging me to play with. It's not my cup of tea, so I refused at first, but it would be fun if we played together, or I listen to my friend's words and play together right away.
I would listen to my friend's words. If it's someone that I trust, and I would play together right away. Yeah.
I like that.
I like that. If I recommended you a game, would you play?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I am that type of person, dude. I am not the type of person that it's gonna like. Even if I have a strong opinion about something, I am gonna try to find a middle ground. Yeah, I'm always trying to find a middle ground.
I like
Okay.
that. Again,
Yeah, appreciate it.
so far liking it all.
Next question. You are thinking about joining a community with strict terms to get game information. From self-introduction to attendance check, that's too much for me, or it has good information, so getting ranked up after 3 days is not a problem.
Yeah, this is a tricky one. Yeah, let me analyze this one. Yeah, I don't know. I would. Yeah, I would go with the first one. Yeah,
Okay, that's
yeah,
too much.
for sure.
Okay. Makes sense. Next question. Before buying a game, do you carefully read over people's reviews, watch the trailer, check the price, or if the game looks interesting, you trust your instinct and make a
Yeah,
purchase?
I'm with the second one. If the game looks interesting to me, if it's like my taste, I've been following it, I trust my instinct and make a purchase. Yeah.
What's the most recent purchase you made?
Yeah, this one, Dune Awakening. Yeah.
Okay. Was it that like did you watch the trailer and
No.
everything, or did you just like look
Yeah,
at it?
I like the lore, and this
lore is
friend
dope.
told me that I should play it, and I just tried it. I didn't even read reviews or anything. Yeah.
Oh, do you like
Yes.
it so far?
Yeah, I've been putting in way too
Okay.
many hours.
What about the
Okay.
game you're making?
Awesome.
No,
Where is Spaceman Memories coming
I'm also
out?
working on that one, and whenever I play, I feel a lot of guilt. It's
I
this
believe-
game dev guilt. Yeah, that is a real thing. Game developer guilt is a real thing.
I mean, I'll bet, like, I mean, I'm not a game developer or anything, but like, I bet, like, if I'm like, or anything, like, I'll be like, when I'm playing, I'm like, oh, maybe I should be actually making my game rather than playing something that other people made.
You know what
Yeah.
though? I'll be victims advocate or devil's advocate, one of them. Maybe if you were like to stop and you were making a game, you stopped and played somebody else's game, it might help you with some ideas for your game.
Yes.
If you're a game developer, you're like,
That
you
is
know
very
what?
much true.
I'm at a stuck point. Let me check some stuff out, and then you're playing. You're like, that's a good idea. Let's do
Yes.
that. But now
Yeah,
that people see,
It works like that with games and also with movies. Sometimes I go weeks without playing or watching anything, working on the game, because I feel a bit of guilt. But it being that productive and not consuming other content isn't that healthy. Whenever I go and play other games or watch a movie or watch a show, I get inspiration. So yeah, I would say to other game devs, take a break and watch or play something else.
I mean,
Like-
yeah,
take a break, guys. Jesus.
I think that makes sense because remember we had a what is it? He's the developer for Shell.
The guy
Something-
that was
Yeah,
playing,
that
what,
yeah,
anime and stuff,
there's this
right?
one dev who like would watch anime while he's coding or developing the game, and that's basically like
What game was that? He's
Shell.
like two or three people behind us.
Yeah. But anyways, I think that's
Yeah.
a really good mentality because if you're a game dev, obviously you are going to stress out from developing the game. Like you can't. I mean, even if you love it, you sometimes like stress out. But like you need some kind of a break from the game or get inspiration or experience with other things.
Yeah.
So that you gain the energy back to push your gear again towards your game development. So.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. So
So
Yeah.
you're telling game devs to touch some controller grass.
Yeah, I would say both of them, both real grass and controller grass. I try to do that because I go sometimes for weeks not doing it, and I can feel how much it takes a toll on me. Yeah,
You know, I will say this though, and you're a streamer, and I know we're talking about games, but I will say this. I always feel like the streamers who don't go outside or do anything and they just make their whole life about streaming and gaming, they're kind of boring.
yeah, totally.
It's like-
Because you can feel like when a person has different facets to their lives, like hobbies or knowledge about other things different from what they're talking about, or being a nerd. It's cool to be a nerd, but it's also cool to be a nerd that knows about many things in life.
1,000%.
It's cool to be
1,000%.
an experienced nerd.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that goes for everyone. Like it doesn't really isn't limited to the game development. It feels like if you're just working in any profession, you sometimes have to go outside of your boundaries or do something else so that you have knowledge or experience
He's
for
so
that as
smart.
well.
George is so smart. No, but you're right. You're 100%
Yeah.
right. Because if you think about it, if you spend, I always tell people, like, if you spend all your time doing something and you focus on it, you're going to miss everything around you.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
everything around you could be
1,000%.
what helps you evolve, especially if you're doing something that involves creativity and you need those juices. Do I keep freezing on your guys' screen, or is it just my screen?
Yeah, I think a bit.
Yeah. Texas,
Weird.
work on your internet connection.
I mean, I
Anyways,
got-
next
A lot.
Next question. If someone is watching you play a game from behind, it's the perfect opportunity to show your amazing gameplay, or you're actually good at it, but due to the pressure, you are missing skill shots.
Yeah, number 2. I'm actually good at it, but because of the pressure, I'm gonna be missing skill shots.
Do you play a lot of multiplayer games, or?
No, I suck at I suck at any type of multiplayer game. Yeah, the thing is that I know I can become good at something if I put in the hours. I am a very slow learner. To get the capacity to become good at something, I need a lot of hours, and I just cannot put in the hours to become good at multiplayer games.
I mean,
Yeah, I think
There's nothing wrong with that.
yeah, I mean that makes sense because single player games usually you can just do it on your pace, but like multiplayer games you're
Yeah,
playing with other
but if
people
I go
and
into into some type of Fortnite game, I'm gonna get cooked in like 10 seconds.
yeah, me too. I mean that happens to me with Valorant or Fortnite. I've never played, so I'll probably do
Yeah.
the same thing.
I
don't-
can't play extraction shooters to save my life. There's no way.
Yeah.
But you play Marvel Rivals.
That's not an extraction shooter, so that's a team fight game.
Yeah, okay. Next
Come on,
question. You are playing a newly released game for the first time. Rather than having regrets later on about missing something, you go over the tutorials, or the game seems to be similar to the one you've played before, so you skip the tutorial.
No, I never skip tutorials. I am way too stupid to skip tutorials. I'm a very slow learner,
Oh,
and
God.
I'm never gonna skip a
I
tutorial.
wouldn't call you stupid, but that's
Yeah.
probably one of the best answers I've heard.
I like to
I
be
love it.
self-aware about how much of a slow learner I am.
Okay.
And if I ever skip a tutorial, then I know I'm gonna kill myself later. Because I'm
Okay.
gonna be like, oh, what happened there? Well, how does this work? No, I always go through tutorials.
I got a
see.
feeling though. I've got a feeling you say when you're a slow learner though. I got a feeling when you do learn, it's like it's there, it's stuck. Like you just got
Oh
it.
yes. Yeah, it stalks with you. And I think it's not only for slow learners, but for anyone. If it's difficult to learn any type of topic, it's gonna stay with you. Yeah. And for me, it does stay with me, but it takes me a lot of time to focus and acquire the knowledge, right? So yeah,
Okay.
it's got its up and downs.
All right.
Yeah. That's a very good way to look at it. Yeah.
Awesome. Next question. You're playing a mystery solving game based on your years of experience in mystery solving games. That guy is the culprit, or that person looks suspicious, but you need to start collecting evidence first.
Yeah, I'm a second option on this one. That person looks suspicious, but I need to start collecting evidence first.
Okay. Good strategy. Next question. In order to equip the rune that increases defense by 0.01%, you have to return to the lobby. That's not a big difference, and your friends are waiting, so you just go, or you tell them to wait. You go back to the lobby to equip the rune.
No, I'm gonna go with the first one here. My friends are waiting, so I'm just gonna go.
Okay. Awesome.
All right.
Yeah, it's not a big
Yeah.
number. Next question. During gameplay, your companion's character has been bitten by a zombie. You might be able to find the cure, so you decide to accompany them, or everyone in your group can get infected, so you choose to kill them, even though it is tragic.
No, I'm gonna go with the first one just because it sounds like a challenge, and I like challenges, so I would go to try and find a cure. Even if I
Okay.
die, I die. It is what it is.
Oh, I mean, we've never had a person answering that way. Okay, that you can kind of see it as a challenge. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, also it's a gameplay. It's not like you're saving the entire humanity or anything. So
Yeah. I'm
That's
gonna go
good.
with that one. Yeah.
awesome. Next question. Even if you don't express it, you feel like keep losing because of your friend. Are they not feeling well? You lift up your friend's spirits, or do you send them a link to the character's tips and tricks and suggest the
Oh
gameplay?
no, I'm gonna go with the first one. I would not be able to go with the second one as much as a friend is sucked a lot on the game, because I'm always afraid of hurting other people's feelings. Yeah,
Okay. All right. You're a good friend then.
I would say that I try to be a good friend, but I also have that issue of it's always even hard to say no to some things in life. I'm like that type of person, always looking not to have any type of conflict. So I would never tell them just get better at the game.
I like how at the
Okay.
beginning you said you were kind of a loner, but then everything you say is just like friendship, friendship, friendship.
Yeah. No, I'm a loner in projects, but I've got a very, very nice group of friends.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense.
Okay. I mean, I have a feeling that a lot of friends likes you. Like, you have a lot of friends that likes you. So
No,
you're
I
like
do
a
have good friends, and I
social
really
butterfly.
appreciate them. And I would never go in a project with a friend, because I think projects are gonna have some friction sooner or later. And yeah, I don't want to put the friendship in the middle of that. Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah. In Korea, In Korea, there's a famous saying: "Never do business
Yes,
with a
I
friend."
think that is very wise.
We say never
Yeah.
do business with family in America.
Also very wise.
Oh, that too.
That one
That
is
too.
also
That
very
too.
wise.
And we also say
Yeah.
never marry someone and that's your friend.
Never marry someone that is a
No, we
friend.
don't say that.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. Next question.
Okay.
The character has bad performance, but the appearance is totally my type. Considering the balance of my party, I cannot put them in my party, or I have to put my favorite character in the party, no matter the
no,
cost.
I don't care about appearance. I'm gonna go with the one that is more practical. Considering the balance of my party, I cannot put them in the party.
Okay. So how about the characters in Spaceman Memories? Are they
Yeah, I think
like?
yeah they've got their own personalities, but I think that is like the side of crafting. But if I'm playing another game, I'm just gonna go with the one that has the best abilities. Yeah. Yeah, I'm that
Got it.
type of guy. I never go like when you're starting a game, like editing your character and the appearance and stuff. I just go with the default one and I start playing. I'm that type of guy. Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Your current desktop is messy with tons of icons, but it does not affect your gameplay, or you hate chaotic things. Your desktop is neatly clean.
My desktop is neatly clean, but I do not hate chaotic things. I have chaos on other places. Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah.
your desktop is neatly cleaned. Okay. Next question. Before getting into the game, you search the internet just in case you end up missing achievements, or you have never played a game for the
I have never played a
achievements.
game for the achievements. Yeah.
How many achievements will Spaceman
Oh my
Memories have?
god, dude, I don't know. Those type of questions always send me into some type of existential creative crisis. I never know how to answer those questions.
George, don't break
Okay.
our guest.
I mean,
Stop it,
I mean-
George.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
Nah,
sorry.
nah,
I'm
nah,
sorry.
no
I didn't
pressure.
He's over here
mean
like-
to.
I'm like, oh no, we lost him.
No, I never play a game for the achievements.
Okay.
I will say this though, I don't always either, but they are fun to have. So if you could throw some
Yeah.
fun ones in there.
It's some nice dopamine happening there. Yeah,
If I
but
made a game-
I like to get them organically, right? Not try to go to Google them to see which ones I should find.
Yeah. I think that's
Understand that, yeah.
yeah, that's 100% too. Because like I wouldn't be like I mean, if, like for example, if I have like 95% of achievements accomplished, then I'll probably see what other 5% I'm missing or something. But like I wouldn't from the get go. I wouldn't be like go follow this achievement, that achievement.
I'd say I only do it for games that have multiple endings that I really want to see that have the achievements a part of it. Like that's important to me. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm waiting for someone to make an achievement that says like right when you start the game, congratulations, you bought this game. Like that's just an achievement. Like thanks for buying the game, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, welcome. Like,
Congratulations, you've spent
That's a good idea.
$19.99.
I am gonna
Yeah.
take notes.
Oh yes, everyone.
Yeah.
All right.
I do not work for a company right now. I'm just telling you. I'm just,
yeah, or have like a achievement that says, "Oh, congratulations! You know how to turn on the
Yeah.
game," like something like
Yeah.
that.
Just be,
You know how to press the
just
play
be
button.
nice at the beginning of the game, right?
Yeah. Then be like, "Oh, I achieved something," and they'll probably
mean,
feel
it is an
a lot
achievement.
happy. Yeah, exactly. Last question. You, who happens to play a lot of games, play a game you feel like playing at the moment from your collection, or do you play? Or you have a gaming schedule on when to beat a certain
Nah,
game?
I'm way too disorganized to have a schedule. I'm just gonna play whatever I feel like I wanna play. Yeah.
Awesome. So, are you ready to
Yeah.
find out your gamer
Let's
type?
see.
The cat's typing.
You are a gentle cleric.
Okay. Yeah, no,
Please, let's play the game quietly. Oh, this fits you perfectly.
it does. It does.
Okay, let's see some of the characteristics. If I'm hooked to a game, I feel very passionate about it. You spend a whole hour to decide whether I should use this axe or that sword for the boss battle. You become fun and loving after becoming friends, but before that, I put a defensive wall around me. Solo play is fun, but oftentimes I want to do multiplayer, but multiplayer gets tiring, so I want to play solo. You lift the spirits of the players who are left out, but you keep a distance if someone acts too friendly. If someone I don't know sends a friend request, I don't accept them. I keep a poker face in front of a friend who sucks at video game, but I'm criticizing their gameplays in my mind.
Ooh.
I hate to drag others down, so I always pull my weight.
Yeah, I think some of those are very much true. Yeah.
Okay, which one sticks out?
I would say the first one. The first one, I would
Oh.
say it's the one that sticks the most out. If I'm hooked to a game, I
Okay.
feel very passionate about it. But also, solo play is fun. But oftentimes, I want to do multiplayer, but multiplayer gets tiring, so I want to play solo. Yeah.
Okay. I think this goes to a lot of gamers because usually people will be, or I mean that's for me too. Like I'll play solo games sometimes, be like, oh, I want to play with other people, and then I play multiplayer and be like, oh, humanity sucks, everyone sucks, and I go back to
Yeah.
solo
No,
play.
I can be that guy.
Yeah. So so you're good with a harmonious druid. You're bad with cold bone necromancer, and you might like single RPG
Totally.
player games.
Yeah, that's the game I'm making. A
Awesome.
single RPG, single player RPG.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, so the algorithm worked on that one.
Great. Thank you so much for taking the Gamertype quiz.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Awesome. So I think we are ready to move on to the bulletin board waypoint, which this week I know we don't have too many things going on, so we're just going to be talking a little bit about. I think this week is all about Death Stranding too. Kojima, the masterpiece, the I don't even know what to call it, the master of.
I've been
masterpieces.
stranded before, but I feel like being dead stranded would be horrible.
Yeah, I think that would be horrible also.
I kind of want to be alive stranded.
Okay.
And maybe with some food.
But I think it'd be cool to be
I
carrying
don't.
stuff on your back and running around and stuff. That sounds like a cool thing to do.
I do that all the time for my job.
Okay, so they
It's not
should
that
make
cool.
a game out of your life.
Oh my god.
But I know I
That's
think it's already been nominated to the Game of the Year, one of the nominees for Game of the Year. And I've heard great things about it. I mean, I already saw the first like reveal trailer at South by Southwest when Kojima was actually there.
That Kojima gets you every time, doesn't he?
Yeah, and I know, and also I think he's doing like a global tour of some sort. He's gonna visit Seoul at one point as well. He'll just do like a mini concert type of thing or meet with the fans or something like the one he did at the conferences, but he's doing that globally. So that's
A tour?
yeah, it's like a tour, almost like a tour. I forget like what exactly it's called, but I'm definitely gonna be applying for that. I don't know if I'll get it. I just want to shake his hands.
Yeah, the guy's
One
like
of them or both of them? Like,
if there's someone that would be like the equivalent to a rock star in the game industry, would be Kojima, dude.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too.
yeah.
Yeah, because
so-
a lot of people that haven't even played his games recognize the guy. He's like this type of character. He's that big.
Yeah, I think he's like a very big figure in a way, especially in the game development. Like how a lot of I think these days it feels like it's one of the necessary aspects or characteristics that the CEOs or the founders of a studio must have, because they kind of have to be presented in front of people rather than being like all secretive and just develop games behind computers and all that. But you know how the Baldur's Gate, Larian, also the CEO, is also very presenting in front of other people, like in these game events and stuff like that he comes out to speak for the studio. And I think that's what gets fans engaged in the game as well, like all the things the studios are making. So I think it's a good move.
Yeah, it's a good movie. And the guy's got aura. He's like some Hollywood star now.
Yeah.
Because he's friends with everybody from
Yep.
Hollywood and people just recognize the guy.
Yep. Yep. And the he also always has the translate. Like I love the fact like he doesn't speak English. Like I don't know if I'll bet he
I've
can, but
always
like,
wondered about that.
yeah, I'll bet he can speak English, but he doesn't just like doesn't want to, and he can just do that if he doesn't. I mean, if you like him, obviously, um, yeah. I mean,
I
he
say
has,
you stay with Japanese. You rock it,
yeah,
right? He's
yeah.
Japanese, right? Okay, yeah.
I mean, I love that too, because like obviously English isn't his first language, and he doesn't have to do that. Like he has that power and position. So,
That's why we got
Yeah.
subtitles,
yep,
captions.
Yeah.
and translators and all these AI tools that he can use if he
Yeah.
wants to.
We got it. No worries.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I mean the game is great, so go play it. It obviously inspired a lot of the other game developers as well.
It's
Just
like magic, dude. Like seeing the performance of the engine and how quick it loads and everything. It's like, oh my god, what is happening here?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
basically like a movie, but you're actually playing in it.
Yeah, I was very much surprised when I saw the game being played. I was like, I thought many of these things were cutscenes when I was seeing the trailers on the months before releasing, and
Right.
they were not.
Yeah.
So yeah, these guys are really pushing the console to the edge of the
Yeah.
performance.
It might blow up.
It might blow up. Yeah.
And you would obviously need some graphic cards, so some good ones, expensive ones, to have the perfect performance.
They're usually set up pretty good in those consoles. They'll never make a game if it's like for PS5 or anything that's like that.
Right,
that
right,
won't-
right, right.
That won't,
Oh,
that it
right,
can't
right.
handle.
Right. I was talking about like if you were to play in PC, but it's not out
Oh.
on PC yet. So
Yeah, you definitely. Or you could just scale down the graphics if you want. The grass starts to look
Yeah.
a little more glitchier. Fine. Fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Still see
Yeah.
And
Minecraft mode.
yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, and I also saw Witcher 4 gameplay as well. Like I think it was shown in the Epic something, the Unreal Engine Fest or something. But that was also ridiculously crazy. Like it was just basically like a real thing. It just wasn't a game anymore. It felt like. Just like everything. We did talk about this a little bit with Anthony, but that was just crazy too. Like I don't know, because it feels like game development, especially for AAA titles, has come to a point where they're kind of competing for like little bitty bits of graphic improvements, or because there's like not a huge gap between these games or studios, and
Besides actually going into the worlds themselves,
Mm-hmm.
what's actually left?
exactly.
You know what I mean? There's not.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do now? You start developing for virtual.
I don't know what the next big thing is.
Yeah, who
Not
knows
quite.
what is the next big thing?
Yeah.
But they're just trying to push it to the edge, and I do think that like we can see like both of the sides of this coin, like with Unreal Engine, something like Unreal Engine, or this, I think it's Decima engine, the one that they're using in Death Stranding, and that engine really shows it doesn't have the issues of an engine like Unreal. And I am using Unreal Engine 5, but it does have its issues. Like, have you played Stalker 2? I have to wait like 7 to 8 minutes each time I'm gonna run the game just for the shaders to compile.
Yeah.
So those type of things really break the experience. So yeah, maybe the things like The Witcher, like the new one, may look like really crazy, but I don't know if I would be pushing the engine to this edge if it's gonna break the experience in the immersiveness of the whole game. Yeah.
And I like that. So that's one of the reasons too. Like, is like when someone's playing an indie game, like they have their limitations with graphics, but they make them look good and feel good, and then you add extremely fun gameplay to it. Because there's like a bunch of people they love they love retro gaming. You know what I mean? They love that 2D feel and stuff. Just having fun, not like, hey, I can see all the dewdrops on that piece of grass. Like, Yay! But I'm already trying
Yeah.
to play a game. Like it's cool, but you know.
Like many things, like all of these temporal super resolution or DLSS. I'm not, as a game developer, I am not even uh thinking about that. I'm thinking about gameplay, I'm thinking about fun, I'm thinking about the lore, the deepness of the story and stuff.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think many times both gamers and companies are thinking way too much about technicalities and pushing the engines
Mhm.
and the graphics and the realism. And I'm like, are we losing like the narrative, dude, of what games should be
And the fun of it.
and the fun of it? Yeah.
Yeah, that is very true.
And that's why it's kind of cool when you see games that come out of nowhere that are indie games and being developed, and they don't have the greatest graphics, but they're just so fun.
Oh
that you
yeah,
just,
dude.
they just take off, and you're like, wow.
I was playing like this last Saturday for the first time. I was playing Balatro, and I was like, "Oh my god, I understand
Still haven't
why
played that
this
game.
thing
Oh my
became
God.
so big." That thing is like a drug, dude. With the most basic graphics,
Yep.
I understand why it won many awards and stuff.
Just
a
It's
card
just
game.
fun.
Yeah.
But it's just fun,
Yeah.
Yeah.
pure fun.
Yep.
That's my favorite thing. If it's not fun, I don't care what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That was actually my
Zach-
motto when I used to date people.
Yeah.
What? What'd you say, Jordan?
That's also a good way of seeing dating. Yeah. If
Okay.
it's not fun, yeah. What am I
Okay,
doing?
that's
It's not
a
fun.
good mindset. Zach, please play Balatro like now. First of
It'll
all,
be a bit. It'll be a bit. I'm going on
Um,
vacation for a week.
I mean, you can just play it on your phone. It's like $5 or something,
I've
or
been playing it on the phone.
$15 or something like that.
free
I
on
don't know.
Netflix.
It's a free on Apple Arcade.
I
I
think
might
on
play
the
it, I
phone, on like Google Play Store, because I'm using Android, because we do not. Many people don't have iPhones in the third world, right?
Android's
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
Sorry,
right.
iPhone. Oh, iPhone.
Your
Yeah.
Samsung's in Korea.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I mean, I've used Samsung for a while, but then I betrayed Korea. I'm sorry.
What's up with the
Samsung?
national
I can
pride?
give you his exact address. Yeah, no, yeah. Just be
Yeah.
easy on him. He's a nice guy. Okay, all right, thanks.
Yeah, but anyways, go play Balatro, and also there's one game trending called Peak. Peak is
Oh yeah.
that game is crazy too. I mean, I haven't played it yet,
I want to
but
play it so bad.
yeah, I've heard great things about it. I mean, I've seen a lot of streamers play it. It looks super fun, and I think I just saw a news saying that like in 9 days they sold like 2 million copies. So
Yeah.
that's a big success.
Even the developer was like, I cannot believe this game that I didn't take time to develop
Yeah.
went so viral. Even
Exactly.
the developer was
I
like,
mean,
what is happening?
I think that went same with Local Thunk as well. Like, you know, for Balatro, I mean, he started as like a car game that he just wants to play with his friends, but then he had no idea that it's gonna go all the way up.
Schedule one.
I think he kind of knew what he had in his hands. You know why? Because he never showed his face. He knew how famous he was gonna be.
Okay, yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I did also approach him
That's
to
funny.
interview or like
He knew.
invite to the podcast,
He
but
knew.
then he didn't.
He knew how much of a
Yeah.
genius he was, and he was like, "I am not gonna deal with all of these gamers knowing my face throughout all of the world." Yeah.
So that's why we have publishers doing
Yeah.
that for you. And also, there's also this is another famous saying in Korea. Like everyone wants to be a millionaire or a billionaire, but doesn't want to be famous.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
a normal person wants a
Totally.
lot of money.
Totally.
So yeah, Peak is awesome. Schedule One is another one. There's gonna be a next one too. Like there's gonna be a lot more of these indie games that's gonna thrive and have like millions of sales because people know that it's fun. It doesn't really matter how it looks. It's just fun. It's pure fun, and that's like the.
Yeah. It's a mix of
fundamental.
fun and also a mix of economics, I would say, because people do not have the money for $100 games, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is just a reality.
mean-
Yeah,
I know lots of people who were huge Borderland fans. They're not buying the Borderlands game,
yeah.
and it's not just the price. It's because he said
How much?
I think it's
How
like
much is it?
80,
Is it?
But they said
It's like 80.
but he said if you're a real fan, you'll buy the game, and that's made a lot of Borderland people pissed.
Yeah, that was an asshole move from that guy saying that, because he's just saying like, oh, we can put a $200 price on this game, and if you're obsessed with it, we know you're gonna buy it because you people are stupid.
I
And
played
it
all
wasn't
of
nice to the fans.
Yeah, I played
Yeah.
all of them, and I won't get this one coming out.
Yeah, if it's an $80 game, it feels like $80 game is gonna be the next norm for AAA titles.
Yeah, and that's
mean-
where I think that indies are gonna keep rising and rising and rising.
Yeah.
I was about to say that, yeah. So some indies are still 5, 10, 15, but there's some that are over 20. Look at Deltarune came out, it's over $20.
Yeah.
That's pretty uncommon because if not trying to down it, but the graphics aren't crazy in depth. It's never has been. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I always put them on sale if I
Yeah.
feel like they're too high, but I want to play them, and I just wait. Or I put them on win wish list and wait till it drops.
Yeah, I think that the sweet spot for an indie game, it's below 20. Totally.
Yeah, I could see it being. It would have to be a really very a huge indie game for me to be like, okay, over $20 is worth it. You know what I mean? Like it had to be like a huge one.
Like Dave the Diver.
Yeah, but I only bought that for 15 or 10, something like that.
Yeah,
Dave
you can
Diver-
get it for that. Yeah, for like 15 or 10. I think Expedition 33 is like an indie game that was more than 20. But I think people found it like it was like the right pricing. It was like 30, 35, I think, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can. I mean, I can live with paying like $30, $40. That's fine. Like, but if it goes over $60, it's like I have to kind of think about it 3-4 times
Exactly.
before I actually buy it, because like $60 is a lot of money if you think about it. You can like actually buy groceries with that money that you can live
think,
off for
yeah.
like a week or so. So
I don't know what the economics is like where y'all are at, but like back in the day, $80 probably wasn't a big deal to me, but now it definitely is because I'm like,
It is.
it is.
that's like
And
a
if-
lot of grocery, or that's not even that much groceries for us here now. So
And if you can feel that pressure in Texas, dude, where like Americans make more money in terms of like dollars, like in places where like I live, dude, $80 games are like, I don't know, insane. It's an insane pricing.
because they just because like a lot of times economies in other countries are, if they're lower, food's lower, all that other stuff's lower. But if the games are the same price, you're like, how am I gonna buy this? This $80 to me is like a whole like week or two worth of pay.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
Yeah, totally.
And you almost feel like as a developer, if you're smart, you would release.
You're
it
not
at
gonna
a-
go there.
Yeah, you're gonna that or drop the percentage down for that that country. But then you got to worry about people, trying to get it from there. But really, honestly, I feel like if I was the developer, I would try to find that sweet spot so I could get my game in as many hands as possible so they can enjoy it. That would be my goal. It wouldn't be
Yeah,
to
me
make a
too.
shitload of money. It would be like, how can I get this to many hands as possible and still make enough money to make my next game?
Exactly. That is the dream, dude. You just defined the dream. When people ask me, do you want to be a millionaire? What are like your plans in terms of like becoming a game dev? And I'm like, I just want to make enough to make a next game. That is enough for me. That is the dream.
That's dope.
That's
100%,
very dope.
100% feel that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's better to be realistic, because if I would be making games thinking that I am the next Balatro or the next Hollow Knight, dude, that is like, that could happen. But try to aim more like in a realistic way to manage your mental health and your energies in a better way.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, that's also why I don't think I would ever do exclusivity either, because I wouldn't want, just like, oh, you can only play my game on this one console. It'd be kind of depressing. I'd be like, oh,
Yeah,
I want everybody
totally.
to play it.
Yeah, I think we're ready to move on to the companion waypoint now.
Church knows I can talk forever, so he's just kind of.
I can talk forever too, but
No, he can't.
Yes, I can. Before we actually go, let's watch the trailer with sound.
Unless there's food.
Spaceman Memories, everyone.
It's all about timing.
Yeah.
What did I say to you? First of all, awesome trailer. Second
Thank
of
you, dude.
all,
Appreciate it.
did you make the music?
Yes, I am making all of it, all of the art, all of the music, all of the coding. Yeah, not because it's a mix of both of two things. It's a mix of I don't have enough money to pay other people, and it's also a mix of I like to do the things. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
That's
that's
awesome.
a good mix. That's a good mix of
Yeah,
reasons.
it's a good mix of reasons. Yeah.
But you also said earlier, if you had enough money, you would still do it by yourself.
I think I would still be doing games by myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just let somebody in. I'm just messing with you. They just want to help. Just kidding.
So, but you would never want to like kind of expand the studio and have some other people. Like, let's say you have enough money, or
I
like
think,
you know.
dude, that is a good question, and I very much thought about it. And the thing is that, as I was saying earlier, dude, I deal a lot with guilt and trying to be nice and trying to not offend people. And if I had a studio, I would only have a studio if I would be like paying for people's work and time in a very, very good way. If not, I would be feeling guilty. Like, people have told me, can I help you with the game? Can I do some free stuff for the game? And I'm like, no, dude, I just don't feel comfortable taking your work for free, and I don't have money to pay to you because like the terms of economics in different countries are way too different. I wouldn't be able to pay to an American or a European for their time or their work. So yeah, I would only have a studio if I would be able to afford it, to be paying people in a very good way. If not, I would be feeling guilty most of the time.
I like that. You got a conscience.
Yeah,
Very nice.
yeah. I've dealt with that because people have told me, "Can I make stuff for free for the game?" And I'm like, "It'd be cool, dude." And it's not like I'm trying to be an asshole, or this is a thing of pride that I'm trying to take control of the whole project. It's just that I don't feel good taking people's time and work without paying them.
I like that. That you like. I don't want to be an asshole.
Yeah.
It's
Some
understandable.
people, yeah, sometimes people may think that it's, oh, this guy just wants to take credit for all of the game and he doesn't want to share the credit.
Yeah.
But it's not that. It's just that the only way that I would take other people's work is if I would be paying for their time and their work in the right way. If not, I would not take it. Yeah.
I totally get it. Honestly, I totally get it.
Yeah. I think that's a very realistic way of thinking it too. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you cannot just be like, you know, I'll just hire you. Let's say if the game is good, sells good, then I'll pay you or something. But
Yeah,
then
nah.
what if not? Like, you know, all their effort and time has been
Yeah.
not wasted, but like, you know, is not worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see though that if you really loved a project, like say you put it in somebody's hands and they played it and they could care less about getting paid. They just want to really like help because they want the project. You know what I mean? I could see that too. Like where they're just like, I'm really believing in this project and that's whatever you need. If you need something from me and I can give it, and you know, but I understand your side too. But
Yeah.
I think sometimes when you're a fan of something, you're just like, I don't care. I want other people to experience it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's totally true. And that's why big things like, I don't know, like Linux, like all of this open source software is based on this principle, right? Just people trying to help just for the sake of doing it. Many people doing it for free, like contributing to code and stuff. And I totally understand why it works. I don't think I would be able to manage with my personally be able to manage something like that if I am not paying for people's time.
It's understandable. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit. Who's this spaceman? What's his gig? What's his
Okay,
vibe?
yeah, that's a good question. Spaceman Memories, it's a JRPG based on Japan and with many influences from many of these Japanese games I grew up playing with. And he's a Japanese spaceman, like literally, he's a Japanese spaceman named Ishiro, who's coming back from a mission in space to a fictionalized Japan, but he doesn't remember who he is. But when he comes back, he realizes that the world has been overrun by spirits, which are like the real spirits, like the real legends and the real stories from Japan. I'm like basing the names and the how they look in like the real stories. I'm not making it up. So I'm trying to be respectful, having a respectful cultural appropriation, because I am not Japanese, but I just love the culture so
You
much.
love the culture,
I grew up with it and stuff, and it has been so much of an influence for many of us nerds throughout all of the world that I thought that it'd be cool to make a story that feels very Japanese. So yeah, the spaceman is going on this journey to find his own self, to see who he is, because he doesn't remember. He has lost his memories after this mission in space.
That's why it's called Spaceman Memories.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why it's called
I was going to say
Spaceman
too,
Memories.
like you said like cultural or whatever. I feel like it's more like a love letter to
Yeah.
Japanese, right?
It's like
you're
a love letter, like a tribute, right? Homage.
Thank you
I try to
for the Mario.
thank you for
and
giving us all of this, the Mario, the Earthbound, the Zeldas, Studio Ghibli, all of this. Thank you for all of this. So this is just my own way of making the game that kid wanted to make. This is me after going through many kind of projects and jobs, dude. I went through being a startup founder, being a entrepreneur, working on the private sector, on the public sector. And after going through all of those stages in my life, I was like, I'm finally gonna go and try one of these crazy dreams of like the ones that I had as a kid. I'm gonna make a game with the influences and the type of things that I would like to see when I was a young kid.
I love how you said I made the game that this kid wanted to make.
Yeah, that's
You're
what I'm
talking about
doing.
You're like,
Yeah,
you're making the kid for your little self inside.
I always see people like in the game dev world, and I am not shitting on this take, but people, I think that people have been trying to just reinvent the wheel and trying to make original stuff just for the sake of trying to be original and inventing mechanics and themes and stuff. And I'm like, I am not that, dude, because people sometimes ask me, oh, this looks like Earthbound, this looks like Zelda, this looks like Pokemon, this looks like Paper Mario, and I'm like, yes, and I am okay with it. Yes, of
You're
course.
right.
You're right. I am okay with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think we should understand that creativity is standing on the shoulders of other giants, and I have no issue with that. I just
like
put
that.
that pride to the side. I'm gonna stand on the shoulders of all of the giants I played the games from, all of the movies I've watched. I am not gonna try to reinvent the wheel.
Are you trying to blow my mind right now? Because you're doing it.
You love. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love that phrase. You're standing on standing on
shoulders
other
of
people,
giants.
all other giants. And also, it feels like you cannot. I mean, obviously there are some like original aspect to every single game, but obviously any game where I would probably say like every game is inspired by something. Like it wasn't like you're not inside of like a, I don't know, like a cell, or I don't know, it's like this lab or something. You never ever experience any other media forever, and then you make a game. You've never. I mean, there hasn't been anyone that has done that before. I mean, obviously the games like Mario or Zelda, all those probably was inspired by something, like some kind of media or some kind of things that they
Always.
experienced. So yeah.
Yeah, and you think about no, you're right. Sorry, George, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I do it all the time. I apologize. But like,
Yeah.
even if you think about there's like Pong and all the very original, very first games ever, right? That probably they just came out of nowhere. But someone was playing that and was like, "Hey, I want to do this," and then someone was playing that game is like, "Hey, I want to do this." So it's just like technology evolving, right? When one time we were riding horses, then we were on stagecoaches, and then we have cars, and then you know what I mean? It's like evolving. And so
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so too. I think so too.
that's the
so I feel
story
like,
of creativity in humanity. Even things like Pong, dude. We could say that that is like the most basic type of game that didn't have any type of influence. It was influenced from things like ping pong. It's like
yeah,
literally
yeah,
coming from somewhere else. It's always like that, and
100%.
we can find the influence in the root of some creative idea, human idea from somewhere else.
Yeah, that's yeah, that's pretty legit. To
Legit as
be
heck.
honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, go ahead, Joe.
I mean, I had a question, the other question, but are you like a full-time developer, or are you kind of like a part-time, or is this like your first
Yeah,
project?
this would be like my first fully featured project that I would release on a platform like Steam. I've been trying to make games for like 10 years, trying stuff in Unity, in Unreal Engine, in Godot, in other kind of obscure engines and platforms and stuff, Roblox Studio. And yeah, this would be like the first one that I would finish to sell in that type of way. I am doing this like full time. I also do from time to time freelance graphic design, web development. That is like my background to just like to keep myself afloat. But I got my savings from my previous project and went into this one, and I just tried to live very below my means to keep myself afloat trying to finish this game. That is like one of if someone would ask me like, what do you need to start making games? Like manage your expenses, dude. It's sometimes it's not even about figuring out which engine to use or which programming language to use. It's like manage your expenses, manage your energies, manage your mental health. Those things can be way more game breaking in the process of making games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's pretty
I
sweet.
like that.
Yeah.
It's a real world view because most of the times we have
Yeah.
people and they come on and they're like, I wasn't a good coder or artist, so I had to get him. You're like, hey, you got to manage all life stuff first.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so,
Which makes sense.
I tell people ask me like, what is like the inspiration or how, what is your motivation? How do you keep going? And I'm like, I think it was like the right point in my life to make a game, dude. If I tried to do this like 10 years ago, 8 years ago, I would already have given up because I didn't have the resilience. I wouldn't have like the economics working to manage making a game, like the mental health to do it. So you gotta put a lot of pieces into place because people romanticize making games, and it is a very romantic process. But at the same time, it it is also a very very hard process that can break you if you are not ready to what all of this entails. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And if you're a solo developer, it might look, pretty from outside, like say you can manage your own time, you can, develop in your own pace and all that good stuff. But then like on the other side, that's basically all your responsibility to do all
Yeah.
your work, and no one is obviously supporting you economically, and you're not getting like any income until you actually start releasing the game.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
even
all.
when you
Yeah.
release it, you may not get an income. What if you crash? What if it doesn't sell?
Exactly.
What if people don't like it? I tell people if you're gonna go into games, and many big game devs also say this same thing. If you're gonna go into games, dude, don't go into this stuff like it's a startup or Wall Street or crypto trading. Do this because you wanna do it, dude. Because there's a possibility you may fail you do not want to fail, but there's a possibility. So just try to do it in the most healthy way possible, to manage it so it doesn't break your finances, doesn't break your life, your mental health, because yeah, that can happen, dude. It's a very real thing. As much as romantic and as cool as it is to be making games, this is like the dream, dude. But I tell people, dude, you gotta like have it in you to go into making games, especially solo, I would say. But I don't like to see myself and put myself in like a pedestal because I'm a solo developer, because I know other teams have their own struggles. But you gotta have something inside you, and it cannot only be money or fame. There's gotta be some other intrinsic type of motivation, because this is gonna take you through really, really hard times.
Something that you can like love.
Yeah, you gotta have real love and passion for the process.
Yeah, that's like,
Yeah.
I feel like that you could definitely
Yeah,
tell when
and
somebody makes something with love. You know what I mean?
yeah. Um, so like when you are drawing art and like making music and stuff, like have you like did you know that before your solo development journey, or was it something that you kind of had to learn in order to start making it on your own?
I would say that the thing that I had to learn the most has been the coding side of things. I have a music background. I started music a couple years ago. Then I started graphic design, and I know a bit of things like art and stuff. But I think in the things that I have learned the most in the process of making games has been the programming side, like the coding side.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
But I
about
didn't know things like pixel art beforehand, before trying to make a game. I wasn't a pixel artist. I went and learned throughout the process of making a game. I didn't know Unreal Engine. I didn't know many of these things. I have been learning them throughout the process of building the game.
so like how about like marketing and stuff? Like how do you reach out to the potential players? Like what's your main method of doing that?
Okay, yeah, that is a good question, man. That's a good question, because it's a really tricky one, marketing for indie game devs. And I've been trying to figure it out and seeing what works, what doesn't work. I've been trying ads on social media. I've been trying to be a streamer. I've been trying to upload tutorials, devlogs, and stuff. And I have seen that the best way of reaching players and getting wish lists on a platform like Steam and stuff has been being part of showcases and festivals. Yeah, so that seems to be like the key. I didn't know this. I've been live streaming the game development process, trying to like uh, uh, help the game in terms of marketing. I've been paying for ads, but not it does seem like a platform like Steam works in a different way, and how you reach people does seem to be in a different way, unless you are like a big influencer that goes viral and stuff. But most of us are not that, right?
It's
Most of
very
us are,
minimal.
it's very minimal.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very, very minimal. The possibilities are against you. The casino, the algorithm is playing against you, dude. So it's very hard. And I've dealt a lot with this. And I've found my own answers to the questions of marketing. And I'm like, dude, I cannot be a full time streamer, influencer, trying to do things that shorts that can go viral, or TikToks that can go viral, because I stopped working on the game, trying to figure out algorithms and virality. So I would say that the best marketing is like trying to get into those showcases and festivals. Those are helpful. But most of all, it seems, and I've been seeing this throughout podcasts and articles and stuff, make a fun game, dude, because word of mouth seems to be the most important thing.
Yes,
That you
yes,
represent
yes,
game.
yes.
100%. Yeah.
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 I like
can
that. Make
go
a
viral.
fun game. He says, don't
Yeah.
don't make a game nobody's gonna like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like you can go viral on TikTok and have like 2 million likes, and then you release the game. It's not fun. The first 100 buyers are gonna leave a review saying it's not fun, and it's gonna kill any virality you had before.
Yeah, they will
Um,
destroy it.
I have a good friend who works for as like a marketing indie game marketing agency, and I asked him like, if you had some budget, if you had like certain amount of budget, like how would you spend that money on marketing? You know what his answer was? He says, I would use that money to make the game better.
Yeah.
So I guess, like he says, it's basically the answer for it. Like, I mean, no matter how great the marketing is, if the game is not fun, it's not gonna follow. But if the marketing isn't like good, but like if your game is actually fun, then it's gonna have a word of mouth, and then people will start playing it, buying it, and then they're gonna organically share it on their social media, whatever, and then it's
Yeah.
gonna grow, and then you'll see that at some point you're gonna be like, oh, my game has sold a lot, and it was very successful, and people are liking it. So it feels like I mean, obviously the number of wish lists is very important.
Yeah, it is.
The number of wish lists doesn't mean that the game is going to sell a lot, but the game that sold a lot had a lot of wish lists. So it's not like that equals that, but it's just wish list is very important and crucial. But at the same time, your game has to be fun, no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would, if someone asked me like another solo dev or like a two-person team asked me like, what would be a good piece of advice that you could give us about the process of making games? I would just tell them, dude, concentrate on the game and don't try to play the social media game because it's gonna kill your energies, dude. It's
It's
gonna
hard.
kill your mental health. It's way too hard to be try to become an influencer, try to become famous
100%.
at the same time that you're trying to make a game. The game is already too hard by itself.
Yeah.
That's why I always used to tell people at work, like they know that I do that on the side and stuff, and then I try to tell them, I was like they're like, oh yeah, you stream and stuff. I was like, yeah, but then I try to tell them like, you don't know how much this goes into it. Like you got to understand algorithms, and you got to do all this stuff. You got to put shorts out. You gotta. It's like it's a nonstop thing, and it can take energy out of you because there's always like, why aren't you got more? And I'm like, bro, because I work here.
Yeah.
By the time I get
Yeah.
home, I don't have energy for all that. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
it's the same with games.
1000%.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like a solo dev and you need to do everything by yourself. Obviously, you don't have that energy or time.
No. That's why I say too, like if you're gonna, I always tell people too, like there's jobs out there for like just content creating. I know.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
if I was to be a content creator, I would honestly prefer to do it for a company than for myself, because then they'll make the content and I just shove it out there, not do both. Just like
Yeah.
here it is.
It's a healthy way of seeing it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
but
that's exactly right.
so do you stream making your game?
Yeah, I've been streaming making the game since January. I started it. No, I tried it last year. I wasn't consistent. I've been trying it back this year. I've been way more consistent. But even though I was feeling that like the community was growing, more people were watching, the chat was more alive, I could really feel because I was trying to do it when I started 7 days a week, dude. And then like 3 months later, I was like, yeah, this is not sustainable, dude. This is
Your energy
killing
was
your
that?
energies for the game.
Ah,
Yeah, because
yeah.
you can be productive when you are live streaming, right? Making games, but not as much as you would be like working just by yourself because
Just
you
by
gotta be
yourself.
aware of the chat, of interacting, trying to be entertaining and stuff. So your brain is not fully working on the game. So I think it's a cool experience. I would say to anyone that asks me, do it for the sake of the social stuff of making friends, trying finding other game devs, connecting with people. I've made very very good friends. Do not do it for the sake of trying to go famous, saying to yourself this is gonna help the virality, like the marketing, the numbers of the game. It is not gonna do that. So the motivations behind it can make it or break it for you to make it sustainable in terms of like the mental side of keeping going in something like live streaming and making games at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, that's super smart.
That I
Yeah.
mean, you also have to Streaming itself, it feels like, it takes a lot of energy out of you because you
Oh
have to
yeah.
talk while you do something. Like, even if you're just playing game, it's basically very, very different from like you playing game without talking or anything, like just concentrating on the game versus you would have to keep the conversation going. You have to keep talking while you play the game, and then you have to check the chat and then
Yeah.
do something like if the someone like the viewer says like, oh, check this out, you have to like actually go check it out if you have to. And so that's a
You
lot of
don't have
energy.
to.
I mean, you don't have to, but like, that would get people more going. So
Yeah,
And
no,
it's
I know what you're
always
saying, but it does take a lot of
yeah.
energy. There's
yeah.
times when you get on and you get off and you're just like, you don't want to play video games, you don't want to look at screens,
Yeah.
you just want to
Yeah.
go to bed. Like, screw it, I'm
Yeah.
tired.
Close your eyes.
And it's
Yeah,
always not. I tell people, because people sometimes asking me, why haven't you been streaming, dude? We've been missing you. Work on the game while you stream and stuff. And I'm like, dude, it's not even only the streaming part. I gotta like disconnect my brain before the stream to concentrate to go into the streaming mode. Then after the stream, I have to decompress after having that social experience, and I cannot work after that. So it's not even only the hours that you are in front of the camera, it's the hours before and after. So it takes a toll on you.
I just see you just literally pulling your brain out, like, okay, that's it. And just put it in a jar. Just like,
Yeah, it is like that. Yeah. Yeah,
mean,
I've been
that's-
doing it for the social aspect, at least right now. It's that for me. When I started, I was like, I'm gonna do this to acquire wish list, to try to go viral, become a big ass a streamer, game developer. But I am way more realistic now about the motivations and like the objectives of behind something like this. Yeah, because it doesn't go hand in hand with trying to make a good game in which you pour in the hours, the energies, and also trying to go and try to become famous.
I think too. I think I could see you still doing that. I mean, I'm guessing you still kind of do that, but it
Yeah,
would be
no,
like it'd be like a like every once in a while, just like, hey, look at this new thing I've come up with, or
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, because that'd be awesome. Like, you're like, hey, just did this new. What do you guys think of this graphic? Because then you kind of have a little bit of feedback.
Yeah,
You
and
said
that's
your
what I've
feedback
been doing. That's what I've been doing.
Like,
I've like totally changed like the schedule, because I was going 7 days a week when I started with
Don't do
all
that.
of the energies. And
Yeah.
don't do that. Don't do it.
that.
If you
Why didn't you ask me before you did that? I would be like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, if your objective is not like, okay, I've got enough money to live for 1 year and just try to become a big streamer, I'm gonna do this 7 days. Well, do it, dude. If you have that freedom,
Yeah.
maybe try to do it. But if you're managing other things in life, it is definitely not sustainable.
I think
Yeah.
you're on the right. I think you're on the right path doing it for your game, because your game is like brand new. You're working hard on it. Looks amazing. Great music.
Thank
great,
you, dude. Appreciate it.
a great feel. And I think I tell people this all the time, because I kind of, I really want to, your game is what we're on right now, but I really want, to think about like your, whenever you start doing stuff like that, I feel like you're going to be more happy with yourself if you pick a purpose other than a goal to be famous.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like,
totally.
Like, my channel is only for showcasing indie games, and I have to remind myself that it's more for that than it is, being famous. Because then when I don't make it, I'm like, at least I got somebody to look at that one game I really like. So that's all that really matters.
Yeah,
And I go cry in a corner.
you made friends along the way and stuff. Yeah, there's gotta be other motivations, other purposes that are
Yeah.
more meaningful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look, because of you're streaming the game, you met George. Now you're
Yeah,
on a
exactly.
podcast.
I was about to say that. Like one of the motivations that I had starting this podcast was to kind of talk to these instead of just playing their game, maybe we have opportunities to actually talk to these people behind these indie games and see like what their thoughts were making the game, or like what kind of passion they have, like why they started making games and stuff. And then, I mean, obviously I also kind of started it just to maybe like, one day the podcast grows, whatever. But that's like all That's like
not
initial like hype of obviously starting it. Like everyone, I mean, I'm not gonna be like, oh, this podcast is only gonna have like one subscriber and then like it's gonna fail or something. But like, I mean, obviously everyone has their hype and stuff. But
Yeah.
like as I went on and like started meeting these people, I realized these people that I invite every week are my assets, and they're like one of the things that I'm gaining or earning from doing the podcast every week. I mean, obviously, we're like not here we're not getting paid to do the podcast itself. It's like, more like a passion thing. But
Yeah.
it's very, very, like, I love the fact that like meeting these people, learning about these indie games, like how they do it, the processes. And yeah, I just like, am loving that. So
Yeah,
far.
it's
no.
like that.
No, you're good. I'm listening to you, brother.
No, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, maybe sometimes we just lose sight of what the price is. Maybe the price is like the friends we go making along the way of building things and connect with people. Because it's amazing, dude. Like how can we build right now? Me here, like literally on the third world, dude, talking with this guy from South Korea, this other guy in Texas talking about games. This is like the amazing thing about like the internet and
Yeah.
doing things out of passion, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's getting paid here. We're just making this out of passion.
That's actually true. I'm not getting paid.
Well, yeah. I mean, I work for Minimap, but like,
I told George, I was like, hey, can I get at least a t-shirt? And he was like, you can make your own t-shirt. I was like, oh, thanks, guy. Oh my
we have
God.
to make the podcast t-shirt, not even I mean, I really hope this channel kind of grows so that we can have more people learning about these indie game devs
100%.
and maybe collaborate with these people that like are not too like social, or they don't we can't like easily find, but like but I think this is just fun meeting these people.
I can say that I 100%, 1,000% actually, I'm glad we did this because it has made a big impression on me, especially when it comes to devs, because before I'd play a game and I'd be like, this game sucks or whatever, you know what I mean? Not like that way, but I'd be like, not really enjoying this game, stuff like that. But then when you meet the devs and you understand them as a person and why they're making the game and how they love it, and then you kind of look at the game differently. You're like, oh wow, okay. And so it just gives it like a whole depth that people don't understand, because I feel like there's not a lot of, I don't think any dev we've ever met on this podcast has ever been like, I just made it for money. They're all like, this, I really want to make this game.
Yeah, none of them.
I want to play this game. So when you guys come on, especially like, George could speak this too. I don't know how many devs we've had on here. It just blows my mind with how smart you guys are and touch with, reality and just almost philosophy type people. And just make you fall in love with the game more. Like there's a lot of games on my wish list because of devs that I've enjoyed on this podcast. I'm like, damn it, I can't play all these games. I'm in all in all the Discords. There's all the games. I can't do it.
And also, I mean, we've had several devs who had successfully launched games before, like G-Pad, the Portal series, and we recently had the Dave the Diver producer as well. But they never said like they're just loved the fact that the fans loved playing their game. They never said, "Oh, I made so much money, I can do this." They never said that. Like none of them, like Toge, like Chris, Coffee Talk, Dave the Diver, obviously, Portal, Left 4 Dead, all the games. They all said the fact that fans are playing the game, they love the universe that they have created, is the number one reason why they do this, and they love it, not because they sold like millions of copies, whatever. None of them actually told me like how many copies they sold. Like they're like, oh, I love it.
Even like Dave the Diver, and all the ones you mentioned, I think the thing we almost got out of all of them is either they're going to take a break from the game they're making, or they're ready for the next part. They're just hungry to make another issue or to do more. Especially Toge, I feel like they were like, we've got 20 games coming out. And you're like, well, I don't know how to do that. Like just release Whisper Mountain, please. Okay, my friends and me love it. Let's play that.
Yeah, but
with your game, sorry, George, go. No, can I go? Yeah.
No, yeah.
What is your What do you have a time frame on when we can actually get a demo or something to play?
Yeah, I am
Or
aiming for the demo, this first initial version, like in a month and a half, releasing it. Yeah, because
okay,
I'm aiming to release like a more polished version of the demo for the next fest in October.
Hmm.
okay,
So
nice. I was about to ask you that. Yeah,
yeah, I can release in Q1 of 2026. Yeah.
Ah,
that's
okay.
yeah. I was going to ask you if you're going to wait for
Yeah,
the
that's
next.
gonna be the cycle I'm gonna try on. I'm gonna try to go in October and try to release at Q1 of 2026.
Mm.
And are you going to try to get yourself like the one of the live stream things on there so you can live stream your game?
Yeah, also, yeah, this is another piece of advice for any type of game dev that is watching, is like, apply to everything that you can apply, dude. Like, don't be afraid of rejection. Most festivals and showcases are gonna reject you, doesn't matter. But if you can grab a couple of those, that is gonna help you a lot. So try to get in as many things, and yeah, just deal with the rejection. A lot of people are gonna reject you, but some are gonna like your game, and you're gonna get into some type of festival and showcase, and it's gonna help a lot with the wish list and the reach of the game.
I always say if someone tells you no, you're still at the same place you were when you asked it.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
One
Yeah, it
thousand
doesn't
percent.
change. Doesn't
I
change any of the circumstances.
No.
I really, if we have enough, like, I don't know, or scaling up of Quest and Played, I really, really want to have like a showcase of all the people that came out.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Their games?
I mean, it feels like, the showcases are basically playing different trailers after
That's a good
trailers.
idea,
Like,
George.
yeah, in between, people might come out and like, kind of explain all that. But like, I really, really wish we've had like what 40 episodes or 41 episodes now. But I wish like at one point we should have like a
We're at 113 videos, but that doesn't count.
yeah,
shorts.
but that's all, including all the shorts videos as well. Yeah, but yeah, so I think we should have something like that so that indie game discoverability. Obviously, some of these people are not. Like NerdyPunk says, like, some of them are like afraid they're not going to get accepted or whatever, but we should just have that sometime.
You know what, too, though? One thing that we have, and same with you, with your game, and we have that a lot of people don't talk about video games, is we have the devs. You could literally take some of the most amazing gameplay of the game, splice it in with the conversation from the devs to reach that, like where you hear the dev saying, I just love this game. And, talking about how he loved Japanese culture, yada, yada, but then mix that in with how you see the spaceman walk around talking.
Like
You
on the
know what I'm
background.
saying?
And stuff. Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't have that understanding that there's a person behind these indie games. It's usually one
That sounds like a great idea. We should actually talk about that, Zach. Yeah, maybe have like a minute or two of them explaining like what the game is and like what they have passion
mixing
for.
it in.
Oh hell yeah, that sounds like a
Or
fun-
playing the game with the dev with you, because they do that
Yeah,
sometimes
also.
on Steam.
Yeah, both could be good ideas, because what you're saying, yeah, it humanizes the process of making games. It shows that there's a human behind it, and maybe you don't like it, but you don't necessarily have to hate it or try to bring it down, because you understand there's someone behind it, right?
I don't think there's one that I haven't liked yet.
Of all the people that came here.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some favorites, but I've not ones that I'm like.
Yeah, I think all of the games that came, I mean, all of the devs that came to our podcast, they're all dope. Very dope. Dopey dope.
I say dope a lot. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think, yeah. Game devs, and it's not because I am one now. I always believe this, even when I was in a game dev. It's a special kind of breed. And it's got to be a special kind of passionate type of people, because there's going to be a lot of struggle behind this process. So you cannot fake this. Yeah, you cannot fake it.
Okay.
You got to be like real and real passionate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're looking Q1.
Yes.
Seeing some,
Yeah, that's
So,
what I'm aiming for.
Are you
Yeah,
got
I
a
was
Discord
aiming
and stuff?
for Q4, but yeah, then I was reading that it is not a good idea to go on Q4 as an indie game with not a big marketing budget. So I'm gonna go in Q1.
I'd say take your time and get it out there. You know what I mean? Don't rush it.
Yeah.
You got a Discord?
Yeah,
that
I've
we
got a
can jump
Discord.
on?
I've got a Discord. I'm also on Twitter, Blue Sky. Yeah, you can find me everywhere as NerdyPunk Dev.
I can find you everywhere.
Yeah,
Don't
even
say
my
that.
website, it's like literally nerdypunk.dev. Literally, yeah.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
No, but it's true.
Because
Yeah,
definitely want to follow you and just kind of see how things are going, so that when it does come out, I definitely would like to play that demo and get it
yeah,
out in front of people if we can.
yeah. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. That would
Yeah.
mean a lot.
I dig the green visor over his face too. Kind of
Yeah,
reminds me of
no,
like a Game Boy looking. You know what I mean?
yeah. I'm trying to get a lot of things here. Trying to use nostalgia, trying to use the engine because I'm not like doing anything hyper realistic, but I'm also taking advantage of many nice things about the engine, but also not losing the spirit of nostalgia of this type of game.
Yeah, we'd love that.
Yeah,
Japanese love letter, a single dev, just doing it, man, and making
yeah,
something amazing.
yeah. Thank you,
Everything
dude. I
amazing.
appreciate it.
Not letting anybody else help him.
Thank
If
you.
I was
Thank you.
down there, like, hey, I'm gonna bring you a coffee. You're like, no, I can't. No coffee. I just wouldn't take it. I'm like, oh, I'm bringing you coffee. It's coming. I don't know. Do you drink coffee?
Yeah. No, I do drink coffee. I've been trying to bring it down a bit because I drink way too much coffee, but I do drink coffee.
No such thing, sir. No such thing.
Yeah. No, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Yeah. Sometimes I think like it's like way too much.
I get there sometimes. This is me
Yeah.
without caffeine.
Yeah. This is also me without caffeine. And you were saying, oh, this guy's got high energies. And this is me today without caffeine. And we've got good coffee here in Central America.
Well, yeah, I
So,
mean, I mean, yeah. I mean, I'd love to drink some of that Central American coffee. I'll tell you what. It's not
yeah.
coming from cat butts, though, is it? Because we
No.
had somebody from somewhere that had cat poop.
No,
coffee, and I
it
was like, no,
doesn't come from cat poop. Not at all.
thank God. George is all about that. I'm not about it.
Yeah. I think you're muted.
Yeah, he's definitely muted. Poor George. You want to move your mouth and I'll talk for you? Hey guys, yeah, so
Yeah, you're still muted. Yeah.
I got to get some food. Yeah, they're waiting on me. Can you guys hear me? I don't know what he's
still muted. No, we cannot.
Whoa.
Okay, you're back.
What about now?
We can definitely.
Okay, sorry. I was like, I mean, I was trying to talk. I was trying to say something, and then like nobody was hearing me. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it better?
We were both staring at you like.
Yeah, we can hear you now. It's
Okay.
way higher. There's a bit of echo, but yeah, don't worry.
Whoa. I have no idea what's going on.
It's special effects.
Anyways. Now better?
Yeah, there you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
sorry
right,
about the mic issue, but I think it's kind of time to wrap up things. And I'll include your Steam page and Minimap page obviously on the description for this
Thank you.
video. And if you haven't already wishlisted Spaceman Memories, go wishlist it, everyone, because it's an amazing game. It looks really fun. It's made by NerdyPunk all by himself. Every single piece of pixel is just created by
He
this
will
one
not
guy.
let you help him either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
I'm sorry.
and you should definitely also come to Minimap and hang out with us there as well. It's just also another social media platform for
I
gamers.
will.
So I'll send you all the links and all of that. I really appreciate you coming. And also, just to let you know, it's going to be the thumbnail for this video is either going to be I'm on the shoulders of the giants or the love letter to Japan.
Yeah, you decide. I'll let you decide.
Okay. Thank you everyone for coming. Go wishlist Spaceman Memories and go follow his streams. It's really super fun. He's
Thanks to
very,
both of you.
high
This
energy.
was a
Hey,
pleasure. Yeah, really
Oh, yeah,
appreciate you.
definitely.
You guys are a lot of fun. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it, and I
Yeah.
hope that you can find a big audience with this podcast. It's amazing.
Well,
Yeah.
we hope that we get some people on your game because
Yeah.
you're a dope dude.
Yes.
Thank you, dude. Appreciate
Yes.
it. Means a lot.
Thank you, everyone, and goodbye. Oh, and also, if you haven't subscribed, obviously come follow us on Spotify or YouTube and like the video if you liked it. And share it, everyone, please, so that we have more indie game developers here. Bye, everyone.
Bye, and thank you. I'm sorry. I get
Thanks for
sad when people
coming.
leave. So I try to look away. It's awkward.
Yeah, very, very. Zach's gonna cry.
I'm a very sensitive person. Okay, I love deeply, and I live deeply.